I knew something was happening, but I didn't know where it was going. But I remember when Tom and Netta walked into my life in the same month and thinking, this is really unusual that a gay man and a lesbian like come into my world, and I quick friends with them. And then there was a women's retreat, so at the last day of women's retreats, the Sunday morning, you're all packing up to go home, and you all gather in the room and you all say what God has told you this weekend. I was the last one that hadn't spoken. And it was like all eyes on me, like, what's she going to say? Like, when is she going to stand up? And so I stood up and I said, I have something to say. So I stood up and I said, okay, I don't know what any of this means, but in the very recent time, God has dropped two people into my life. I said, this lesbian just drops into my life on a hiking trail. This gay man just drops into my world in an Italian class. And I said, God is up to something in my world, which you can imagine is making these evangelical women very uncomfortable. So, and I could see that they're very uncomfortable. And I said, and I don't know what's going on, but I put my hands up in the air and I said, God, whatever you're doing in my life, I am so open to it. Bring it on. And then I looked and I said, and I don't give a rat's ass what any of you think about it. And then I sat down.